So let's speak about RxJS. I was really amazed when I saw the website of FRONTEND CON for the first time. Oh, what the hell is happening? Okay, because there are these two guys on the right side, and it's exactly the topic of my talk. I'm not sure if it was intended, but I was really happy about it. So, before we start speaking about what RxJS is and how to introduce it in Vue application, and before I introduce myself, let's find an answer on an important question. Why RxJS? Where is the place to use it in your application? And what's the reason to listen to this talk? So please, raise your hand if you used RxJS previously. And please keep it up. Wow, it's a lot of people. Keep it up if it was an Angular application. So probably Angular people? No. Why to use RxJS? Because on Angular you can use it in forms, in router, for state management, say hi to NGRX, but why use RxJS with different and other frameworks? In fact, there are some places in any application that require additional attention from a front-end developer. And usually these places are connected with user input, API calls, and event handling. And all the things share the same feature. This feature is... Oh my god! This feature is concurrency. All these areas are connected with asynchronous behavior, and all of you know that asynchronous code is complicated. RxJS is not a silver bullet, but it's a good approach to deal with asynchronous code, and that's why it's definitely worth your attention. Now I can introduce myself properly. My name is Natalia Tepluhina. I'm a Google developer expert in web technologies. I'm an official community partner for Vue.js. I'm the CTO of VueVixens organization, and VueVixens is the same as NG Girls, but for Vue. We teach Vue.js to women and those who identify as such, and I work as a senior front-end engineer at GitLab. So, what is RxJS? It's easy to see that RxJS is an abbreviation meaning Reactive Extensions Library for JavaScript. And JavaScript part is pretty clear, but reactive extensions, as stated in official ReactiveX documentation, it's a API for synchronous programming with observable streams. It's not clear. In fact, there is a key for understanding RxJS, and this key is thinking in streams. Very often RxJS speakers have an image like everything is a stream. Not everything is a stream, but you can think about it as a stream, and stream is not something alien for developer. Stream is just a collection of events. So when you have user typing on keyboard, it's a collection of key up events over time. If you have an API call, it's a collection of events again. So user input events, caching data, API calls, tweets. Twitter feed is a good example of observable, because it's a collection of events where the single event is a tweet. And you can react to it, you can like it, retweet, whatever. So streams are collection of events. And in JavaScript, collection is an array. And in JavaScript, again, we have an awesome library, maybe not so widely used nowadays, but still, it's a Lodash. So you can think about RxJS as a Lodash for events. The core concept of RxJS is observable, and let's have a look at the place of observable in JavaScript. So we have some primitives, and singular synchronous primitive is just a value. It's a number, it's a string, an object, anything. We have plural synchronous primitive. It's an iterable of value, and in JavaScript, it's an array. We have also singular asynchronous primitive. It's a promise, and promise at some moment of time is resolving to value or rejecting, and we have an error, but we still miss plural asynchronous primitive, and it's a place where observable should be. Let's compare asynchronous primitives So we have a promise, and x-axis here is a time. At some moment of time, promise either resolves, and we have a value, or rejects, and we have an error, and it's a moment where promise is completed. You cannot do anything with the promise after this moment. Comparing to observable. So observable emits values over time. And you can see that a moment of completion could be totally different from the latest emitted value. And anytime observable can throw an error. So what is observable? In fact, observable under the hood is just a function. This function should take observer as a parameter and return a cancellation function. Okay, what's an observer? Observer is just an object with 3 methods. It's next, error, and complete. So next method will be called whenever observable will emit a next value. Error, I think it's obvious, it will be on error. And complete will be called when observable is completed. So it's a constructor for observable. As you can see, we are passing observer as a parameter. We have some kind of data source, and we react to the data source with observer methods. And interesting fact, observables are lazy. Now I know, after the opening talk, that are lazy like some developers. What does it mean? Why they are lazy? Observable, by default, won't emit any values until you subscribe to it. So imagine we have a YouTube video. It's a stream. Everything is a stream, so YouTube video is a stream too. It's a collection of events, and event is the next frame. So we have a collection of frames, but you won't have any emitted value until you click play. So imagine we have a video on YouTube and nobody is watching it, poor video. So in this moment, any value is not emitted. In fact, its behavior is also named cold observable. There are also hot observables. They will emit values even if they don't have any subscribers. Let's compare it to the live stream. If we have a live stream on YouTube and nobody is watching it, anyway, it will still emit values. But by default, observables are lazy, and they need subscribers to emit values. So here is subscription. We are subscribing to an observable, and we are passing observer as a parameter. Very important moment. If you subscribe to observable, don't forget to unsubscribe from it, because if you leave it, it will still emit values even if you don't need these values at all. Okay, functional part, it's a RxJS operator, and it's a set of methods to operate with observables, to transform them, filter, combine, and alter, and there are a lot of them. Okay, really a lot. Fun stuff is you don't need to remember it, it's a awesome API reference on Learn RxJS IO website. So now we have some theoretical knowledge about observables, but probably we are still on the third slide, like we understand nothing. What about Vue? Let's go more practical about it. So in Vue, we have a great library. It's named VueRx. And what it does? First of all, it provides some new properties to the Vue component instance, so we can easily create streams from DOM events. Second is it provides also a property for subscriptions, so we can simply subscribe to any stream and have the result rendered in your template. To install VueRx, you need to run npm vue VueRx RxJS and import it to the Vue instance, or there is a simpler way. If your project is built with Vue CLI 3, you can simply type vue add rx. And it's a moment of shameless plug, because it's my plugin. I have written it for Vue CLI. So, let's get our hands dirty and have some live coding. If Code Sandbox will be loaded, and I hope so. Yay! Okay. Okay, I have it cached. Can you see the code on the back of the audience? Okay, great. So let's play with this button to see how observables and DOM streams are working inside the Vue application. So there is a button, let's start, and we want to create a stream from a button click. To do so, we have a new directive named vStream. And we need, similar to vOn, which is event handler in Vue, we need to specify an event we are listening to, and this is click. And we need to provide some name for our stream. Let's name it start with a $, because the common convention for observable, it's named with a $sign at the end. Okay, we have created a DOM stream in the template, but now we need to provide this DOM stream to our Vue instance. And to do so, we have a property DOM streams. Awesome. After we do this, we have this start as a property of our Vue component, and we can subscribe to it. So let's have some kind of subscription. Let's name it result equal to this start. Okay, and let's try to show it somewhere in our template. Okay. So right now, when we click start, every time we click start, we emit a new value. And our subscription is getting this value and shows in template. Let's start transforming our stream, because it's not fun just to listen to the click button. In RxJS, operators are pipeable. They are pure functions, and you can chain them with a pipe operator. The most probably used RxJS operator is map, and it works similarly to JavaScript map, but we need to pass not an array, but observable. So let's pass this kind of click and show the click event. Now we have only the object here and name. And see, we have only name, so we are transforming our stream to have some changes. But map is not fun, so let's start a timer on a button click, and let's play with this timer. To do so, we need a new operator, it's switch map. And switch map will complete the previous stream and will listen to the new one we need to provide. So we don't need anything from the previous observable, but we need to create a new one, and RxJS has a method, it's named interval. And you need to specify a time interval. New values will be emitted on this interval. So it will be half of a second, and oh, what happened? Okay, it needs to refresh obvious stuff. So right now we have an endless timer, which is cool, but we need to finish it somehow, because endless timer is kind of a leak. Let's take only first 5 emitted values and show them. To do so, we have a take operator, so let's take 5 of them, and that's it. So it will be 4, and it's stopped. And if you try to click it one more time, nothing will happen, because observable is complete at this moment. Let's add some more fun stuff. We want to show a message. When observable is complete, we want to take, it's complete, guys. And we have a concat operator for this. So concat is kind of similar and kind of different from switch map. Concat will wait until previous stream is complete, and it will concat a new stream to it. And we need only a single value here. We need to show only a string complete. So let's start. It's taking some values and it's complete, and again if you click on let's start, nothing happens. But waiting, it's not so cool, it's not interactive, so let's add one more button. Let's add a second stream to the application. Oh. Let's name it stop. And let's change the message. Don't forget, we need to provide the stream to our DOM streams property. Otherwise, Vue doesn't know about it. Okay, now we have stop. And we will replace our take with a different operator. We will listen to the first observable until second one will emit a value. So instead of take, we are going to make take until and provide the name of the stream here. Okay, let's start. Stop, and observable is complete. And again, nothing has happened, but there is a method to restart an observable. We just need to add repeat. In this case, if we start an observable, stop it, and click start again, we are starting it. Oh, it's loaded. Cool. Just in time. So buttons are very exciting example, but it's not real life, so let's try to build some more useful stuff. It's not you. Okay. I will probably switch to Code Sandbox anyway, because the font is slightly bigger here. So we are going to have some live search. We want to type something on the input field, and we want to search this something in the movie database. To do so, we already have a method. It's a very simple method, fetch movies. It will return an Axios promise with a query and URL, and URL is just a base URL for the API call. So first of all, what we need is to create a stream, and we will do this on vText field. So again, vStream, but right now it will be Kyiv. More to say, it will be not Kyiv, but Kyiv native, because vText field is not a native input, it's a Vuetify component. Vuetify is a material UI library for Vue. So we need a modifier native here. And we will have a stream, let's name it search. Again, the same stuff, providing search into the Vue instance. And we are ready to make some results with a $sign. Okay, and let's show them temporarily here in the template. Oh, it's a typo. Okay, let's try to type something, and it's a Kyiv event. But we don't need the whole event. We need a search string. So let's try to transform it. First of all, we will use plug operator, and plug will take only those properties from the object we need right now. So we need event, target, value, type, and oh, it's fancy, we created Vue model. Nothing special right now, but at least it works. It's great when you do live coding, it works. Okay, great. Next step is we want to filter this string. We don't want to trigger search until we have at least 3 characters, because there is no reason to search for 2 characters in the database. So we are using a filter operator, and we have some value, and we want to continue only if the value length is more than 2. Okay, let's try it. So it's like 1, 2, nothing is still emitted, 3, and we have an emit. Great. Next step is probably very useful for everyone who have done the live search, a type ahead, call it whatever you want, but it's a debouncing. And previously you probably used the bounce method from Lodash or build it yourself. In RxJS it's really simple, you just need to add the bounce time operator and specify the interval of time to the bounce. So right now I will type, and until the interval between emitted values will be more than a half of a second, nothing will be emitted. So I will try to type really fast. You see no emitted values, and when I stop, half of a second passed and we have value emitted. It's not the bouncing. One more thing I want to add here. I don't want to trigger an API call if the value is not changed, because Kyiv is a very generic event. You can have a Kyiv event on some arrows, on tab, on caps, shift, but in fact value is not changed. You don't need to trigger another API call in this moment. And to do so we have distinct until changed operator. It's not so easy to demo because you're typing, and right now I'm clicking on the arrows, and of course no result because it's not really visible, but it's very useful. And right now, finally, we are ready to make an API call. And we will do it again with a switch map operator because we need to listen to another observable, the observable of result. So let's make it so it's switch map. And right now we need to pass something from the previous step because we need a value to search. So we have a query. And we will do this, fetch movies with a query. And right now it probably will take a while because internet is kind of tricky. I need to save and refresh. Okay. So right now we had an API call and this is a response. Again, we need to do some plug because there is a data with a page, total results and everything, but we need only a results array here. So again, plug, and we need only data, results. Okay, let's type something meaningful. Okay, great. Now we can remove our temporary block and provide results to our template. I will better refresh one more time, just to be safe. Now we have this, a lot of chips. Okay, font is really slow, but it's a list of movies, and if you click on a movie, it will be loaded from the database. The good thing about switch map is cancel effect. It will cancel ongoing API calls if emitted value was changed. So you won't have a bunch of API calls waiting. Okay, I think that's it.